Hi everyone, this is Big Mama. I am here to show you a flip through of a journal that I finished for Dear Julie Julie's challenge in March. She's got Marching 2 by 2 as our challenge, where she wants you to take digitals of hers and turn them into two different journals but using the same elements. So if we're to do pockets, we would do the same pockets in each one, but it would be two different digitals. It could be the same digital, but in two different journals. So the first journal I'm doing here for you today, I made for a dear sweet woman, and she is giving it as a gift for a lady. And so I wanted to do this one up. It is using Julie's digital, the Pink Birds. And so here are what I did to it. I had some tapestry that I used to make the cover, and then I have an old magazine that I did photocopy of, and with that I also then added it to some bookboard. And then with the bookboard, I took, after I glued this on, I then waxed over it so that it just feels absolutely marvelous. When I sewed in the signatures, I did 3 signatures doing 5-hole pamphlet stitch, and then I added beads. I started at the top and worked down instead of at the center and worked to each end. And that way I could put the beads at the top to just give it that pretty little dangly. And then I closed it using some sari silk and put some holes here using my hole punch, but because I had taken and serged around the edge or zigzagged around the edge, I was able to add that, and it's very, very strong. And so then I put the sari silk through. And so let me open this up and let you see what this beautiful little girl looks like. The lady that I am making it for, had requested one thing, that she loved to have the beautiful peonies, or peonies, depending on where you're from. And so this tapestry has the beautiful flowers on the inside, and so that was as close as I was getting. I think that's probably a rose, but it was as close as I had to the peony. And I also used some papers that I had gotten from, you've heard me say Sarita before, so I did purchase several papers from her and use those in the signatures too. So let me do a walkthrough, and I try to position myself to where you can see me and the journal. I'm just not into going and buying special cameras and having them up over my head and all of those things. So I hope that you don't get frustrated with the way I do these, but if you do, there are some amazing women out there that make journals that you might want to go watch and just say, I ain't watching Big Mama no more. But until then, I'll show you this one. So here is the first signature. And what I did here, we were to make tabs, and so I used out of the Pink Bird digital that she had, I took the smaller ones and turned those into the tabs and cut out little butterflies and added on there too, and some lace. And so this opens out so you can journal on both sides of it rather than cut it down to size. I just wanted to be sure there was plenty of journaling space there. And then when I printed these, the journal is supposed to be 9.5 inches, and so the paper, of course, is 8.5 by 11. So it's smaller, and I didn't want to trim off any of the edge, and so it had a white edge, and so I just took scraps of paper and covered up the white edge with the scraps and just pieced that all around the edge to cover that up. And then took one of her digitals and added this little belly band here. And then I have a card. This is called a Zorro card, and the reason why it is called Zorro is the way this goes. Julie makes that sound when she shows it, so I And so I had a stencil where I just took the gold pen and went around it, and then on this part of it, I filled it in and then put the book page in the center part. And then I added it to a piece of paper out of a magazine, and then so it has a pocket here at the top that I put some ephemera into from that same kit of the pink birds. And look at those beautiful pink birds. Aren't they wonderful? I just love that. So there's my Zorro card. And I will be making one for my second journal because we're supposed to be making two. And my second journal is going to be called Saving Spring from the yellow digital that she has, that she just came out with. So until then, I wanted to finish up this one so that I can get it into the hands of the lovely lady who asked for it. And so here is some of the paper that I had done last month for the challenge. And so we were supposed to have some embossed paper. And so here is my avocado dyed paper. And then I edged this and have my tab. And we were to make a waterfall paper, and then I put tabs on the bottom of it using some ads out of a magazine that I had. And so then this flips up so you can do your writing. And then I stenciled on the back of this digital, I stenciled this here and added a butterfly and made some little flowers on there. This paper also had these on the edge of it. Of course, it's on the other side of the edge of the paper, so I just flipped them over and glued them on so that I didn't lose them because I really like that effect. But where the perforation, I was afraid it was going to rip, so I ripped it and took care of that ahead of time. And then we were to do a double tuck, and so I have this one down at the bottom where I just brought the edge of the paper up, and so now I've got this at the bottom and then also here at the top, and have a couple of cards in there. And then we were to make a hidden journaling card, and so here's my hidden journaling card with the advertisement where I cut the advertisement in half. And so the card is in there. But then on the back also, where I had glued the card into this here on the front, I left it open on the back so that it would still work as a pocket in the back. So then when it goes back together, yeehaw, I can do this with my one wood eye. And so, can't she do it? She can do it. Okay, there you go. And so I put the advertisement here over the split, and then this lace comes down over the split. But then on the back here, I can also take and add my journaling card in there. I'm so glad you guys are patient with me. And then on the back side of this, where I put the papers together, I had a little pocket, and so I edged that and then just have some old ephemera in there. And here is another piece of paper that's dyed, and I covered on this side is with the green paper that is used for painters. And here is the center of the signature, and so I took the digital, and so it is actually sewn in the center, and then you glue this together to make your double pocket with the journaling cards here. And then we're going to go back and do this the opposite direction. And so here's a little pocket that has the ticket in it, but I also put this little brad here, and so it just sticks up underneath the brad and has a little piece of paper that's folded in half so that you can journal in there. And then And these little tiny ones, these are for like your favorite quote, or maybe remembering what you got for your 16th birthday or something like that. Just little notes. So that slides in this one. And then this is some more of her ephemera, and I just glued on some Big Chief notebook. And poor old Big Chief, he got a little bit brittle now. So back in the 60s, he wasn't so bad, but now pretty brittle. And some more ephemera that I have here, an old letter, and I just think it's really cool to add some of the actual ephemera. This is 1946, a letter that was sent to Abilene, Kansas on November the 10th, 1946. And that's even older than my sister Linda. So some ledger paper and some more of the paper here. Some more where I stenciled that. Then I have got a corner double tuck, and so here is the one tuck here and the one tuck here, and some more of the tabs. And this where I dyed it. And again, where I went around the edge to cover up the area here. And I think I have someone coming in. I guess they went back out. Some more of the ledger. And now we are moving into the second signature, where I have another antique envelope that is in this tuck, and then I've got just a piece of paper here that's folded wonky to give it some interest. If you ever want to see some really cool paper folding, you go and find Kathleen Moyer's videos, because she has some amazing, just the way she folds the papers makes it look like it's 100 years old. I love it. And so then here is another one of those envelopes, but done bigger, and I put a brad in it. This is one of Julie's digitals, and so it turns so that this can pop back up and out of there. It really does. And then we have inside, I just took the paper, just a regular piece of paper, and grunged it up with the coffee stains so that you can write something in there. And I lined this one with some tea bag to give it some strength and also a little bit of interest. And that back in there. And then I did not glue the side here closed, but have Julie's favorite number there. It's the number 8. And then just one more of her digitals that I turned into a little card. Now, moving right along. We were to make a belly band, and that belly band was to be a layered belly band that had like a pocket or something, you know, on it to give it layers. And so under the belly band, I made just a little notebook, and then inside I took just a fake piece of ephemera and put it in the pocket. And so I used a junk mail envelope and covered it with some of the ledger paper. So there you have that. And then this was out of my grandmother's catalog, and I thought that that would look cool in here too. Okay, moving over. This is an advertisement out of one of my magazines, and we were to do a flip tuck. And so I used out of my scraps of paper, made a little envelope letter that when you open it up, it just folds down to where you can do some writing in it. And if you want to see some awesome ones like that, you go and find Lori Girl on the Ridge, because she just does an amazing work with these. And I took some old napkin and just embellished it with the napkin, and that's a little corner off of a washi tape for my stamp. And then made a little card that's for a blessing from the fullness of his grace. We have all received one blessing after another, John 1:16. And so then on the corner, I have that. And then this little corner flips up, and it is also a tuck that's up in there to where I've got another one of those really cool letters. So that's the corner tuck, flip tuck. You can all say that together 3 times, but I have a feeling my language might get a little bit blurred. And so then we've got this area here where I just put a cluster, and then over here I just had some faux ephemera that I put with the washi tape. And again, I went around the edge of the digital with just scraps of paper to cover up that white, and made some lines here for journaling. On this one, I just folded it because I really like having the letters here, and so instead of putting a tab on the inside, I just left it this way and folded it kind of accordion out like that, so that you had those letters here on the edge. And then again, where I take the 2 pieces of paper, instead of gluing them down on each other or turning them sideways, I just put the edges in, and so I've got a small one and a long one. And so I have 2 pieces together to extend out. Then I had some of the piano, those, now I can't even, but it's the piano roll. And so I took and added that to the green paper using the Wonder Ender, and it to make it secure so that these holes don't get snagged, and you can write on here, and it also makes the green paper thicker. And then here I did a layered pocket to where I've got, I guess this was, and I don't have my list. If you will give me a minute, I have the list. And so I guess this is the double stack pocket. So I've got a pocket here and here, and I made it a peekaboo pocket, but you're supposed to have 3 cards. So I got this card, and then this one. What I did was I took the advertisement and I made the little paper clip. I love it when I can't find words that are just obvious. So this is called a paper clip. And so I took and put the string on it, and then tied in a button. And then with that, I added part of her digital. Hey, look at that. You can't see me. Peekaboo. Can you see it now? That's digital. And then I put the glossy accent over the top of it. But this is the advertisement. And so I folded it in half because I didn't want to lose this part, because, you know, this is all about Santa Flush. It cleans closet bowls without scouring. Now, I don't put my bowl in the closet, but apparently if you put those bowls in the closet, you can put the Santa Flush in it, and you won't have to do the dishes no more. It could be a different bowl, because her bowl looks like my toilet. And then I put paper on the inside there and just did some rough lines on it with pencil. And there's my advertisement joke. And then here she is, this gal. She gotta feel just absolutely miserable. Suck it in. And so anyway, there she is. And I took some more of the napkin and used the gold pin on it to give a little bit of oomph, and sewed around it. So there's that. And some journaling space here in the middle. And then here we were to do a fabric flip. And so this is my fabric flip with my scraps of paper. And then I also, when I glued it down, I made it into a pocket. And then I found these pictures in the magazine, and her dad and Grandpa and Grandma. They were all musicians, and but I love the pictures, and so I put the pictures there. And I had also made this little notebook here, took and put the coupon up there in the corner so that it would hold it in place. And I've got a spot here with using the ticket, and then a little journaling spot here, and another one of Julie's cards there. And that was not part of our requirement, but I started having fun with those digitals, and that's what I made. And then I needed a spot to put it, so I just took and glued these in to put that. Here's some, I hope I don't have to explain everything since I already explained it once. And then here's some more of that paper with the letters on it from the ledger. And another one of the faux ephemera that was on the freebies. And I put a little corner picture down here. This was not a requirement, but I thought that it would add interest. But doing a tattoo, and we were supposed to do it with writing, and so here's an Emily Dickinson poem that I put here. And so this is where you take and you rubber stamp onto a piece of the transparent paper. It's not a vellum, it's like deli paper. And so then I just have some little scraps of paper that I put some washi on to make it look like it's supposed to be important, and put that over in the corner. And some more of this, and this one is, oh, this is my flip-flop. Hey, I got it. Yeah, but it is a flip-flop. Yeah. Okay, so there's your tab. Here's your pages. Over here, I've got where you can flip up and do some writing on these. And then this was the edge of my napkin that I put here. And some more journaling space. And then here is another one of those pockets that the card. These are her digitals also that I put on cards. And down to the third signature. And journaling pages. More of that little paper. An area here. This is another one of those tattoos. And another piece of paper to write on. And here I made a little notebook out of scraps of paper, journaling card. And this is another page that pops up and out. And I took the washi tape and just stuck another one of those fake advertisement ephemera. And I have a stencil to where I did the circles here. And okay, so when I did this, I was thinking, you got a good thought, I'm not so happy, good thought, you know, you can think, this was about there, and write something in there, dark thought. And then I did a double pocket here on this page, and made this, this is the Hope Chest, where it has been all that fancy work out of the magazine, but I had to put my napkin on there. So this was just some advertisement that I had got in the junk mail, and so I just covered over it and turned it into something of value. So I used a lot of the advertisement out of my magazines to put on there, so that you have a journaling card there. And then this one, I have an antique book that I took and took for the antique spoon collectors, put my napkin on there, and then I also did some gold around it, if you can see all that wonderful sparkly, because you know, if you've watched my videos, I do like my sparkle. And the reason why I put this here is I really did not know how to cut that all up apart, because isn't that cool? So I thought, well, that'll be a good center pocket so that I don't have to decide how to cut that in half or this in half. And then we were supposed to make a cloth pocket. And so here is a fabric pocket, I guess is what she calls it. And another one of my cards. And really, really dark thought there. And sometimes you just have a bad day. And so then we were supposed to do a top tuck. And so this is my top tuck. So my card is here with some more of that gilding. And then I used, for my top tuck, I used an envelope. And then in the envelope, I have some of the digital card. And then on the back of the digital card, I put one of those little letter. And so it opens up to where you can, again, do the writing. So that is one of those little secrets that you can have in the journal, is that little hidden letter that talks about things that are secret to your heart. And so all of that is on the back of this, and it is hidden in the window. And then we have the little bumblebee is bumbled up in there. And another one of the pages then that comes out for you to do all the journaling you want. And some more ledger here. And then in the Pink Birds, it says happy as a birdie in its nest. And I just thought that was so neat to have the song. I thought, well, I'll just print it out, and rather than turn it into a book page, I would try and turn it into something that looked like an old piece of ephemera. And tuck that in there in that pocket. And here's another pocket with some of the old ephemera. Julie had, this is a library pocket. And so I just took that card and put in there. And this is out of something that I got at Hobby Lobby. It's a book pad, a paper pad that has just these little tiny things in it. And so I just stuck that in there because it was the right size, and I had it sitting here on the desk. And another one of the little letters. And then this one is some more of that fake ephemera. This is a prescription. And so I have it to where you can write on the back there. And this is on the back of that. Some more writing space. That. And then we are to the ta-da part. I will get this all put back together now where it all belongs. And this is number 1 of 2, and I'm starting to work on the second one. So I'll have a video hopefully in a couple more weeks, because you know I don't work fast. Thank you for paying attention to me, or going and getting popcorn and just letting it run. Please leave me comments. I absolutely, I feel like I got a letter in the mail. So if you watch this and just say, I watched it, I survived, just say hi, and I'll be happy to say hi back. Thank you so much for taking your time and watching this. And go find Dear Julie, Just Junk Journals, and try out a challenge. I started doing this probably in May of last year, May, June, July, somewhere around in there. And I don't do them every month, but I do love the fact that she gives me something that sparks my creativity flowing. And so if you're in a rut, you don't know what to do on crafting, go and check out Dear Julie. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.